Today, we're recapping Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler. In 1932, identical twins Smoke and Stack Moore, both played by Michael B. Jordan, both scarred veterans of World War I, returned to their hometown of Clarksdale, Mississippi, after a decade immersed in the criminal underworld of Chicago's outfit. Disillusioned by years of brutality and betrayal, they steal a large sum of money from their gangster employers and use it to buy a sawmill from Hogwood, a racist local landowner with Ku Klux Klan ties. Their real aim is to transform the sawmill into a juke joint, a sanctuary of music, food, and kinship for Clarksdale's black community, long denied spaces of joy and expression. Joining them is their teenage cousin Sammy, played by Miles Caton, an awkward but gifted guitarist. Raised under the strict eye of his father, Pastor Jedediah, Sammy has been taught that blues music is a corrupting force, rooted in the supernatural and steeped in sin. But Sammy, captivated by the freedom and feeling in blues, chooses to follow his cousins despite his father's condemnation. Smoke and Stack, recognizing a spark in Sammy, take him under their wing. As the juke joint begins to take shape, the twins form a makeshift community of outsiders and misfits. Delta Slim, played by Delroy Lindo, a charismatic pianist with a devil-may-care attitude and a checkered past, signs on as their lead performer. Grace and Bo Chow, a Chinese immigrant couple who run a nearby general store, become their main suppliers, helping circumvent the white-controlled economic system. Cornbread, a hulking and gentle field worker, becomes the joint's protector. Annie, Smoke's partner and a hoodoo practitioner, becomes the cook and spiritual center. She insists that her rituals kept the twins alive through the war and the outfit. But Smoke, devastated by the death of their infant daughter, remains skeptical. Meanwhile, in the Mississippi wilderness, a roaming Irish vampire named Remick, fleeing from Choctaw vampire hunters, finds temporary sanctuary with a white supremacist couple. He quickly seduces and turns them, creating a trio of thralls. Remick, who seeks to rebuild a lost community of supernatural outcasts, is drawn to Clarksdale by the juke joint's rising energy, especially Sammy's raw musical power, which echoes across spiritual dimensions. On opening night, the joint comes alive. Sammy performs a spellbinding blues riff with Delta Slim and Pearline, a honey-voiced singer who captivates both Sammy and the crowd. Their music is so powerful that it summons spirits from across time, unseen but palpable. Ancestors, ghosts of soldiers, and even unborn souls. The performance becomes an act of defiance and resurrection. But the magic also awakens Remick, who arrives with his thralls, dressed like decadent aristocrats. He offers Smoke and Stack wealth, music, and immortality in exchange for permission to enter the juke joint. Smoke, recognizing the darkness beneath Remick's charm, refuses. The vampires are repelled by the joint's sacred ground, unintentionally protected by Annie's wards. Trouble mounts when the twins realize that the joint is bleeding money. Most of their patrons are paid in company scrip, useless outside white-owned stores. Smoke wants to stay independent, but Stack begins to waver, tempted by Remick's offer. In secret, Mary, Stack's former lover who has reappeared in Clarksdale, meets Remick. Resentful over how Stack abandoned her years ago to protect her from the outfit, Mary chooses power and is turned into a vampire. That night, Mary returns to the joint and seduces Stack before biting and killing him. Sammy and Smoke find them too late. Smoke shoots Mary, but she shrugs it off and flees. Outside, Remick turns Cornbread, now guarding the perimeter. Smoke closes the joint, ushering out the patrons and sending Bo Chow and his daughter Lisa home. But too late. The vampires ambush and convert them. Stack rises again, now a vampire. When he confronts Annie, she throws pickled garlic juice in his face, forcing him to flee. Annie recognizes the truth. These are no mere demons, but vampires, and she instructs the remaining survivors, Smoke, Sammy, and Delta Slim, on traditional ways to repel and fight them. But she warns that killing Remick won't reverse the vampiric transformation. Their loved ones are lost. Remick returns and proposes a deal. He will spare the survivors if Sammy joins him. He reveals that Sammy's music can open doorways to the spirit world, and with it, he hopes to resurrect the memory of his lost homeland. Remick also tells them Hogwood plans a clan raid at dawn and urges them to embrace vampirism as a path to immortality and liberation from racial oppression. Smoke and Sammy reject the offer. Remick then threatens to attack Lisa Chow, a child. Enraged, Grace Chow invites Remick in, hoping to end the threat. A bloody battle erupts. Grace, Bo, Annie, and Delta Slim are all killed. Perline is turned, becoming a siren-like thrall. Smoke confronts Stack in a heartbreaking duel, ultimately killing his twin brother to save Sammy. As dawn breaks, Smoke and Sammy manage to trap Remick and his remaining vampires in a corridor of sunlight, incinerating them. Mortally wounded, Smoke kills Hogwood and the clan riders who arrive too late, then succumbs to his injuries. As he dies, he sees visions of Annie and their daughter waiting to guide him to the afterlife. Sammy escapes, carrying his guitar north to Chicago, where he becomes a legendary blues musician, infusing his songs with sorrow, magic, and memory. 60 years later, an elderly Sammy finishes a set at his successful Chicago Blues Club. In the crowd are Stack and Mary, unchanged by time. After the show, they speak quietly. Stack tells Sammy that Smoke spared him, demanding only that Sammy live a full, peaceful life. They offer Sammy a second chance, immortality. He declines. As Stack and Mary leave, Sammy plays one final song, soft and mournful. Watching them disappear into the night, he murmurs, "Until the bloodshed, it was the greatest day of my life." Stack, overhearing, smiles faintly. "Mine too. It was the last time I saw the sun, and the last time we were free." Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe below to watch more movie recaps with Brian. Comment below which movie you'd like to see recapped next.